Ever noticed how the happiest people you know aren't always the loudest ones? There's someone in your life right now, maybe it's you, who finds more peace in silence than in any crowded room. Society calls them antisocial, but science calls them something else entirely. Here's what nobody talks about. Being alone and being lonely are not the same thing. Loneliness is painful. It's your mind screaming for connection. But solitude? That's a choice. That's power. Research shows that people who enjoy their own company have higher emotional intelligence and greater life satisfaction. They're not running from people. They've just learned what most spend decades figuring out, that you can't pour from an empty cup. Your brain has a social energy budget. Every conversation, every smile, every interaction costs something. For some, that budget is huge, but for others, especially those with sensitive nervous systems, social situations are like running a marathon, not because they dislike people, but because they process everything more deeply. The noise, the emotions, the energy, it all adds up. So when they retreat, they're not being weak, they're being wise. Think about this. When was the last time the outside world made you feel completely at ease? The chaos, the expectations, the performance we put on just to exist in public. Now think about your space, where you control the lighting, the sounds, the silence. That's not just comfort, that's autonomy. Studies show people experience their deepest flow states in solitude. No one to impress, no one to explain yourself to. Just you and what matters most. History's greatest minds were borderline hermits. Einstein took solo walks. Maya Angelou wrote alone in hotel rooms. Steve Jobs meditated in silence. Why? Because breakthrough ideas don't happen in crowds. They happen in the quiet spaces between thoughts. Solitude isn't where ideas die, it's where they're born. We live in a culture obsessed with being busy, being seen, being everywhere. Social media screams, "Look at my life, look where I went, look who I'm with." But the truth is, real fulfillment doesn't require an audience. Some of life's richest moments happen with no witnesses. The book that changes you, the realization at midnight, the hobby you do just for joy. Now, let's get real. There is a difference between choosing solitude and hiding from life. If you're avoiding people because facing them feels impossible, if your alone time feels like drowning, that's not peace, that's pain. Healthy solitude energizes you. Unhealthy isolation empties you. Know which one you're living. People who love their own company aren't missing out. They've discovered a different richness. They notice things, how mornings feel before the world wakes, how tea tastes when you're not rushing, how thoughts flow when there's space. These aren't small things, they're the fabric of a life well lived. While others chase peak experiences, they're building sustainable joy. So if you genuinely prefer your own company, if stillness recharges you, if you choose depth over distraction, you're not weird. You're just tuned to a different frequency. And maybe, just maybe, you've learned what most never will, that the relationship you have with yourself is the foundation for every other relationship in your life. Tell me in the comments, do you recharge in solitude or in company? And if this hit home, share it with someone who needs to hear that being alone doesn't mean being lonely. The next video will challenge everything you think you know about happiness. Click it now, you won't see yourself the same way again.